Hello chamber music fans, I'm Michelle Schumann. I'm here with the Austin Chamber Music Festival, and I'm very, very happy to let you know that we have entered the technology age, and I'm here with you from Vienna. Well, virtually from Vienna, because I'm here via Skype with the Vienna Piano Trio. So I have here Matthias, Stefan, and Wolfgang, and you see Stefan right now in the oh, and now we see, oh, Matthias is, there's Matthias.
And that's all.
Over here is
No.
Wolfgang. So it's wonderful to be able to do this, and I'm really grateful and thankful that you guys are able to do this interview with us. And I know that you're about to start your rehearsal, so we won't keep you too long for this time now. And my first question for you is that you know, doing a chamber music festival, most of the music, I would say, that we do is from Vienna and from Germany, is from that tradition of the Germanic and Austrian tradition. So when we're doing Bach, Beethoven, Brahms, Mozart, Haydn, Schubert, it's really a wonderful thing. But I think this is the first time that we've brought over a group from that area. And I'm a pianist, and actually my parents are German, so I have this a little bit in my history as well. And I'm always very interested to hear about people who are in a certain culture and how you maybe come to music, being from that culture. So when, for instance, in the concert that you're playing here, you're playing the Beethoven Opus 1, number 3, and Brahms Opus 8. And do you feel that being in Vienna, I don't know if you were all born in that area, but do you feel that that gives you a little sense of being closer to the music or helps with your interpretations at all, or does it not matter at all? Just a question.
That's always hard to judge when you are in Vienna and when you grew up here or lived here for many years. And so it's like asking a fish if the aquarium he's in is influencing him. I'm sure that we are in a way influenced because it's even where we live, it's so close where Beethoven lived, and in Vienna there is such a lot of memorabilia of all these composers who used usually to die in Vienna. Vienna was a great city for composers to die, but also Schubert lived close by, and so we would not want to say that this is something we that this makes us more special than others, but of course living here keeps us in touch with all these things every day, and if we want to see the places where they were born, where they lived, if we want to walk their walks, and if we want to see all their environments, it's still possible, and that's of course interesting, and gives you the feeling that this kind of music is important in this place where you live, and this is of course very helpful also, I think.
Right, right. And you know, even in terms of audiences where you play, do you find that the music is sometimes not, I don't know if the word is appreciated, but is accepted isn't the right word either, but where you play, do audiences change? And I know that you tour a lot all over the world. Do you feel that audiences are different in different places?
I'll hand this over to Wolfgang.
Hello, Wolfgang.
Hi. Hi. Well, of course, audiences are quite different. And I would say, actually, I mean, of course, audiences here are maybe more used to listen more frequently to our music, so to speak. But it doesn't mean at all that they appreciate it more. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, so we have experienced many times in very remote places actually that audiences would react maybe even more spontaneously because of the fact that they are maybe not in such a luxurious situation to hear every fortnight a Beethoven symphony, right. You know. So it is also the danger that especially here in Middle Europe, and I mean Vienna is even in particular maybe the worst place for that, because you could attend, I don't know, like 8 to 10 concerts every night just for classical music. Mm-hmm. So we are privileged on the one side, and so is the audience, of course. Mm-hmm. But on the other side, we felt that if we manage to bring the essence of the music, what we think is the essence of the music, towards the audience, the reaction is often even more spontaneous, as I mentioned before, and also more heartful. Mm-hmm. In other places where I wouldn't say that the audience is more knowledgeable here than it is somewhere else, but it's a bit nose up.
Right.
Here.
I can see
other
that.
Places it's nicer because it's not so nose up, so you can reach a music lover more personally and more directly.
Right, so people are coming with a more open heart because they haven't already decided what they're going to think ahead of time.
Probably, or maybe, yeah. But it differs in the traditions of responding to classical music all over the world are so different that you really always have to not to be too surprised that you will get a very, very different, like people would applaud between the movements,
right.
Not only because they wouldn't know, but also maybe because they are not so sure, but their reaction is so spontaneous that they would like to applaud.
Right.
And then it is not a big deal that they would applaud. Actually, in former Beethoven time, they applauded all the time.
Of course. Well, when you think about certain first movements, the way they end, it feels ridiculous to not applaud in some ways because they end so ecstatically that you kind of want that reaction in a way as well. Yeah. I think one of the wonderful things about the summer festival here in Austin is something that you said about this sort of saturation of music that happens otherwise. And during the year, there are many concerts that happen, classical concerts that happen during the year in Austin. But in the summertime, virtually nothing happens. The symphony isn't going, and the opera isn't going, and the ballet isn't even going. So the festival is really the only cultural outlet. And so people really rally behind it because I think they get a little starved for it. And so they get very excited during the festival. And it's a wonderful thing.
Great.
Yeah.
That.
Yes, very much. And you, just one other question maybe about the music itself. You're playing the Beethoven and the Brahms. How do you approach Beethoven versus Brahms? Because they come from such similar traditions. I know that's a big question. Your eyes went huge.
Beethoven versus Brahms. Well, first of all, you have to know that we are going to play the so-called original version of Beethoven.
You are?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Brahms.
Brahms, Opus 8. Okay.
You mixed it up, Beethoven and Brahms. Now they are in competition. No, it's Brahms, Opus 8, the original version, which is a very interesting piece also for the musicologists, because you know that Opus 8, as the number says, is very early. Yes. And the version everybody knows is one of his latest pieces in chamber music, because as an older man, he just decided for any reason to redo it. And as most of the things in later Brahms pieces are, it's much more compact in the later version. In the early version, there's lots of youthful melodies which he actually deducted completely from in the final version, which is quite interesting. So I think they're an interesting thing, and we are every now and then we are deciding to play the original version also on tour, as we do it now, because we think it is actually very interesting, and you will hear that many of the most beautiful tunes are there, which are not even existing in the other version. And of course, I mean, he does, like, I think with 3 Fugati in the first movement. So of course, he's also showing what he can do.
Well, and then the connection certainly between Beethoven and Brahms becomes very important there, because Brahms quotes Beethoven in the last movement. He uses An die ferne Geliebte all the way through the last movement of the Brahms. So it's interesting. It's an even tighter connection there.